Do you think that Christianity has done more, like, good than harm throughout history?
More good.
Okay. So, do you agree with the Crusades?
That's a hard question because you have two sides of territory. People are fighting over territory. So, I mean, who's right and wrong in the Palestinian and Israeli conflict? Who's right and wrong in Ukraine and Russia? I mean, they both have their points. They both have their side. I mean, from their perspective, they were fighting for their territory that was being invaded by the Muslims, and so in that sense, if that's their property, that's their territory, and they're fighting and protecting it, then I guess they had their right.
So, from their perspective, both sides were fighting for their God, correct?
One was an expansionist, and one was defensive. One was offensive, one was defensive. So, I mean, no, the Muslims were expansionists because it was Christian land before the Muslims invaded. You said you're a history student. So the Muslims were expansionists. The Christians expanded by missionary activity. The Muslims expanded by missionary activity in some senses, but also by the sword. Because according to actually their own writings, Muhammad was told by God to fight by the sword. And it's in Surah chapter 9. It's in other hadiths. So Islam is expansionist, and Christianity already had that territory. North Africa, that parts of Europe was Christian. So they were protecting their land.
The Christians expanded from Europe also by the force of the sword. So what makes you holier than thou than the Muslims? What makes you have any credibility more than the Muslims? I would say both sides committed atrocities in the name of their God, in the name of their prophet.
Sure, I think empires have committed atrocities, but the religion itself of Islam, even if you look at Saudi Arabia, look at their flag, it has a sword on it.
Praise Jesus!
Right? So what I'm saying is this, is that Islam actually instructs its disciples to fight by the sword. Surah chapter 9 says that. Fight by the sword. Fight them with the sword. Make them submit, and if they don't, force them to believe in Islam, and then pay the jizya tax. This is Islam. Christianity says whoever lives by the sword will die by the sword. There is no scripture that Jesus told his disciples to go and expand by violence. He said, spread the gospel, for God so loved the world. So totally different theology. So in that sense, so empires like the Roman Empire that started to use Christianity to their own advantage, but they weren't acting in Christian principles. They were acting in just Roman principles.
So after the Roman Empire fell, what was it called? It was
the Holy Roman Empire.
It was the Holy Roman.
Yeah, because like I just said, they used Christianity to their advantage to control people, but the principles of them using the sword to kill people or to expand their empire, that was not Christian. It's not anything to do with the Christian religion. But Islam, expanding by violence, is a part of their religion. So two different concepts.
But here's the thing, is if that is a part of your history, then that is a part of your religion. You have to acknowledge that part. No, you can condemn that.
No. I don't deny that people using the name of Christ have done atrocities, but I also don't deny that Mao and Stalin, who are atheists, have actually killed more people than any Christian empire, anything has ever existed, has happened. Most atrocities happen by atheists all around the world. The most atrocities in the world. Mao, Stalin. When you look at all the people that they killed, just those two alone, it's a lot more than any Christian empire has ever killed. So just do the math.
So Hitler was.
He was an atheist too.
He
was not a Christian. No, he wasn't. Look deep into it. He wasn't. He was a satanic person, and he was not Christian at all.
Nazis were very much Christian.
Okay, many Germans were Christian, but not Hitler.
With you.